they're taking bribes in dollars because the shilling is depreciating.
You see, I didn't know that.
So
yes.
So this fuel crisis, this hike in matatu, all those are important issues. But for as a country, that is a very small problem we are facing. The problem we are facing is much bigger than that. We have a judiciary that is completely collapsed. There is nothing. There is not. I feel sorry for young lawyers, when they come to the profession, a lot of hope, a lot of energy, and they hit a brick of wall, right from day one. Because, you have to pay bribe to get anything. That's the way the system works. Judges are making more money than lawyers nowadays,
Are you serious?
Of course. Judges make more money than lawyers. Lawyers have now we are becoming like clerks, Sometimes even the client may not need your service anymore because, why do you pay a lawyer when you can,
when you can bribe a judge?
You don't pay twice. Wait. That's one problem. I've said many times, people think I have something personal against the CJ. I don't have. I just want her to do the work, which she is incapable of doing it. But you see, the other problem now is that we have a system where everybody is stealing from the state and nothing is happening. So we have a problem with petrol. We have a problem with skyrocketing of this issue. Those are small things. We can persevere. We can tighten our belts. We can take a matatu instead of driving your car.
Sure.
We can mitigate. But you can't mitigate. How do you mitigate a collapsed system where the judiciary takes bribe for every case you file? How do you mitigate that every government official you go to wants a bribe before he renders service? These are the issues, guys who have this, like you guys, should be addressing. The symptoms, we are addressing the symptoms of a collapsing system. Yes. This, when you see the minister abusing you or the advisor abusing you, it's symptomatic of a system that's not functioning. Because that minister should know that if he talks like that, he will be shown the door or an advice. They must be. So our system, the way it's not working, and that is what should worry Kenyans. And Kenyans should put pressure on the president, for example, and his government to address this issue, to address corruption in the cabinet, in higher levels of government, address corruption in the judiciary. How does a country work if all the courts of the country take bribe? How? I think you put it very clearly, the thread, the system. The system is, right from the bottom to the top. If that system is not working, let's not address I don't want to say mundane, really. These are very serious matters for ordinary Kenyans. How much they pay for a liter of petrol is a very, very important matter. How much they pay for a kilo of sugar. Let me give you, for example, this issue of sugar. I think there was a very, very pronounced fight between the president and some sugar cartels. If you look at the history of that case, there are parties who have filed over 200 court cases in the sugar industry. Every time X wants to come into the industry, they will go to a judge, they bribe, they stop. Y wants to come to the industry, they go to a judge, they bribe. If you control the courts, nobody is like me saying that, I will control the courts, I will stop lawyers from coming into the industry. How ridiculous can it be? So that is why, the president had to address it in a very high-profile manner, because he couldn't, even as a president, he could not address the sugar problem through the legal system, because a third party has full control over the judiciary. So, as Kenyans, we need to address the issue of our institutions of governance. Those have collapsed. We are not seeing that. We are addressing some other issues. And, the more we don't address, the worse the situation becomes. It's normal. Some things when I see, I can't believe. Someone goes to an office, you have to pay. It never used to be like this. You go to another office to push that paper.
You see, I hear you, brother. And this is what...